us forward with an absolutely fabulous guest. He is coming to us from Dubai, United Arab Emirates. I've been so excited to be pulling this interview together. So today I am welcoming to this show Gautam Ganglani. Gautam is from Right Selection. Gautam, thank you so much for coming to us today. So, how are you?
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And thank you for the pleasure of being on your show.
Oh, I'm so excited about it. Thanks. So tell us about Right Selection.
Well, Right Selection is a family-run business, father and son. We started 19 years ago in Dubai, so we are in our 20th year. We partner with organizations and individuals who have a passion for learning and development by enriching people's lives both through public seminars, in-house training, and providing organizations with the Learning Resource Center with the latest books, audios, videos by world-renowned thought leaders like Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, Stephen Covey, Ron Kaufman, Bob Urichuk, to name a few.
Excellent. So tell us, your father started your business actually 20 years ago. So could you tell us, what is the secret to staying in business for so many years?
Oh, I think the secret to staying in any business, no matter what it is absolutely being driven by being passionate about the business. You've got to be hungry to learn in our business, something that, you've got to go through that. But I think above all, it's being passionate, having a positive mindset, surrounding yourself with like-minded, like-hearted people is absolutely key. Because in any business, however successful you are, you're going to go through ups and downs. And that's where your passion, your drive, your excitement about what you're doing and doing things on purpose, in terms of you have a personal life purpose, you have a business purpose, you have a higher reason for why you're in business. And when you're driven by that, the last thing on your mind is really revenue, because business and revenue comes on its own. When you're passionate about it, the money will follow.
So I have a question. What do you think about change? Because it seems like when I talk to you, your business started as kind of one thing, and it has morphed and grown and changed over the years. So tell us a little bit about being flexible, maybe meeting the market where it is. So tell us about that.
Absolutely. I mean, to me, any successful business person, any entrepreneur needs to be flexible, adaptable, open to change at all times. And that's one thing, being a small business entrepreneur, obviously creating big events, but then you think on your feet, you're adaptable, you can be flexible. And that's absolute key to responding to the market conditions. We went through a tough time in 2009 and 10, where the world recession took place, and you had to innovate, you had to be creative and think on your feet and understand what were the pains people are going through. And there was a new pain, because obviously there was a different pain worldwide, and you had to provide solutions to that pain. So flexibility, to me, is a key component of any successful entrepreneur, and that's something my dad and myself and our company definitely follow through. We have a motto which we use. We said, we're as flexible as the client is serious. Because if someone genuinely wants to do business with us, we will find a way to make sure they do business with us.
Wow, that's great. That's a great key. So now you say the times got tough in 2009 and 2010. So what kind of things did you adapt to the market to stay, as a leader in your field? What were the changes that you made?
Well, we made a couple of changes. I mean, two changes that we made. One was we looked and identified that the pain in the marketplace was greater than ever, in terms of staff were demotivated, morale was down, there was lack of confidence, sales results were down. So there was a general lack and a general sense of negativity. So therefore, the need of training was actually much more than even in the boom time. It was just in the boom time, people had disposable income to spend. Now they had limited income and they wanted ROI, but the pain was and the need was that much more. So what we did is we actually changed our full-day events to half-day events, and produced half-day events at literally half the price. So clients could still send their teams along to be engaged and motivated and inspired by some of the greatest thought leaders that we host in the Gulf in India. And then we also told our speakers, look, we want to keep your brand alive during these challenging times. We've worked with you for 5, 10 years, and we'd like your flexibility in your speakers fees. And we worked on a win-win where they took a flexible rate with a great upside, so that they helped and partnered with us during those challenging times, because we built a good trust and track record with them, so we could have, manage our costs and at the same time create the same programs but a half-day model. So that was one strategy we used. The other strategy we used, we realized that yes, a lot of corporates are strained on their budgets, but individuals remain and will always remain decision makers of their own destiny. We all live by choice, and individuals. So we started creating workshops, smaller workshops, which were for individuals, because an individual can say yes or no to a decision of attending a program which can help him in his career or in his business, as opposed to corporates where there's a lot of red tape. So the two changes are we changed the full day programs to half day with price points that are much lower, so corporates could still send people, and then we created a workshop model which was targeting individuals who are decision makers.
Well, those are really great examples of how people can really take charge of their business, make it work. The partnering with your vendors, that's an absolute, always a good thing to do. And then being able to adjust, not having an ego and saying, I'm going to keep doing it the same way I was doing it before, no matter what the market it wants. So you're really able to make that adjustment. You know what I need to do? We need to roll back and we need to talk about a little bit about how your company started. The reason why I think it's important for people to see, yes, you're a global leader now, okay, and a world famous in the training world. You know the who's who, but you didn't always start like that. It wasn't like that. So tell us a little bit about the beginning.
Sure. I mean, as I shared, my dad started the business back in October 1993. And he started the business. I was born in London myself. As a family, we lived in the UK. And that went through challenging times. My dad transited Dubai and wanted to start up a business. And his passion had always been reading books, but books which make a difference, very much non-fiction. So, your Dale Carnegie, Norman Vincent Peale, self-improvement, personal growth books. And that's how he started the business in 1993, a bookshop under the same name, Right Selection. And it was basically books on New Age and self-development, your Tony Robbins, Dale Carnegie, Norman Vincent, that kind of caliber of speakers. But then I joined in 95, and I said, how do we take it to the next level? I didn't read that much. And we said, okay, let's bring in audio CDs from Simon & Schuster and Nightingale Conant. And we called that University on Wheels, because we realized that people don't spend time in their traffic, in cars, or people go for walks, or jogs using their iPods or Walkmans in those days. And, create these audio CDs and audio tapes where they could listen and learn. And that's how the business started. And then we found a lot of conference organizers in Dubai, bringing speakers like Tom Peters, Stephen Covey, and Robert Kaplan from Harvard Business School, numerous other big names that came to Dubai. And we became known as the product supplier for these high-profile management motivational events. There are other bookshops still today in Dubai, but no single bookshop specializes in this niche like we do. So we specialized in a niche, got known for that, and we became the product supplier of choice for a number of years. And then that's where it took a turning point. My dad and myself have a great synergy, which I'm abundantly grateful for. I mean, our personalities complement each other, and a lot of our best ideas have come when we are taking a morning walk by the beach or going to the park, just being out there in an environment where by the water or in the open air. And we decided, how do we take the business to the next level? We said, we should bring these speakers live to Dubai. And that's what we did in the year 2000. So that was the early part. We started off with a bookshop, a retail store, distributing to about 30, 40 stores, and then took it to the next level, audios and videos. And in 99, 2000, we said, let's bring these speakers live. And one by one, we brought the speakers live to Dubai and then eventually around the Gulf. And during the recession time, actually, another thing that really happened is I said, let's open up India, a place where I have family, I have friends, I've traveled there, but never set up business. And one of the best things about the recession is I set up our offices in India. And we've been taking Jack Canfield, we're taking John Gray next month, and we've taken Ron Kaufman, Tony Buzan on mind mapping, and numerous other speakers to India as well. So the great thing is with that adaptation, the business evolved from a small bookshop with just a couple of hundred books to selling audios, videos, a distribution network, to bringing in seminars ourselves one by one, from 4 seminars to 6 a year in Dubai, and then replicating that model around the Gulf, and then in India during the recessionary time. In the meantime, since 2011, Dubai is back, buoyant, positive, and now we got gracious place of, having a marketplace in the Gulf and India.
Well, that's incredible. And, I spent a few days with you and your father, and I know exactly what you're talking about. You get together and you're, at those quiet times at events, and you really talk. And it's a beautiful thing to see you two, kind of quietly out there. And it's almost like you can see the ideas flowing back and forth. It's amazing. So I felt bad interrupting you in the morning when I would see you, but had to say hi. So anyway,
Absolutely.
When we look at this, what other cities are you in the Gulf that you go to? So that's one question. And the second part of this question is, how did you attract this world-class, world-renowned talents? How did you do that?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the cities we're in, as I said, Dubai was there. We have Oman, Bahrain, Qatar, and Kuwait, where we're very active. Saudi is an up-and-coming market, which we are looking to find a new partner with. We've also done some projects in Jordan, in Pakistan, India, and Sri Lanka. Sorry.
Say hi for me.
So, yes, in India, Sri Lanka, and then we're looking at, in terms of so those are the markets. We're really focusing on strengthening our relationships in the Gulf. And then with that in mind, as I said, we bring in the speakers and then take them around to our goal. Our dream goal is 4 speakers a year in 6 cities each. And we know the rest of the business in terms of products, in terms of in-house training, all the rest of the business and the revenue streams and the value that we bring to the market will happen by default. When you bring in the high caliber speakers, then you get the full media support, which you don't necessarily get when you bring in regular speakers. So you get radio, newspaper, TV, PR, social media backing you like never before. So that's the gist of it. But in terms of answering your question on the how we attracted some of the great speakers, all by referral, very much by referral. So there were speakers who we worked with who may not necessarily have been the big gurus that we know that we're bringing in today, but they gave us great testimonials of the work that we have done in the previous 15 years. And so, yes, we submitted business proposals to our client, to speakers, let's say like Jack Canfield. But I submitted a proposal to Jack, both in the typical business format of words, but I also summarized our business proposal in a one-page, colorful mind map with loads of images. And that was something that he loved. He said, at a glance, in 5 minutes, I knew you guys were going to make it an exciting venture for me. And obviously you've got complete clarity. And I realized much later that in the Success Principles book, using Jack as the example, he talks about mind mapping, how that gives you clarity and having structure to a business plan. So it was really by submitting a business plan with testimonials and having recommendations, speaker by speaker, to get Jack. Jack referred us to Brian Tracy, who's met us before. I'd met Brian. And there are 3 speakers, Ivan Meisner, so 3 different speakers referring us one by one to different speakers.
Wow, that's incredible. So I have a purely selfish reason to ask this question, but when you do your mind mapping and you do your events, do you film those or videotape those?
We don't really video our events except for taking testimonials and creating promotional video clips. So we do video our events, but we create promotional video clips and testimonials from these events.
Oh, so once an event is over, that's it, you've missed it, and there's no more until it comes back again.
And primarily because each of the speakers has their own DVD video products which are available, which has the same content. So all our speakers have their own DVD and video content that they can create.
Excellent. Well, I definitely want to log on and get the mind mapping, because that was so fabulous. When I saw that, I just fell in love with that. And I really kicked myself because I would have loved to have been there for that, but I'll be there for one of these events soon. So before we roll into the next topic here, I'm really curious about how you actually populate your seminars. What is it that you do to get, because you do bring in people live. So how do you market that? How do you get people excited and involved? Because you guys are doing a lot of events.
Yeah, I mean, to put on an event like this, yes, you got options of, one is sponsorships, You also tie up strategic partnerships. You identify who is your target audience. So, for example, with John Gray coming to Dubai, Chennai, and Bahrain in February, we know that 70% of the audience are going to be females. So when you know that, then I approach all the female associations in the region and share with them the opportunity to partner with us as a strategic partner role and get visibility and credibility to have their respective association brand be connected to an international celebrity brand like John Gray. In return
So
for that,
wait
they
one
obviously
second.
reach out to yeah.
Wait one second. I'm sorry. I just have to interrupt to make sure I heard this right. Are you saying that 75% of your audiences are female?
But for a John Gray event, based on my statistics, but
okay.
John Gray,
Okay.
because it's a relationship building event, if I have to say the truth, my irony is that women are always open to learning more about improving relationships, and men think they know it all. So, so, so there's only a few men with elevated thinking, or otherwise, I suppose the women handcuff and bring them along, whichever way. But the 30% of women, the men who are there, are obviously brought along because a woman has encouraged them to come along and give them company, not because they think they need to learn something.
Very good. Interesting. Interesting.
But this is specifically for John Gray's event. I mean, obviously, when we go to our corporate events on customer service, leadership, sales, then you have a predominant, probably 70, 80% male dominant attendance. But a John Gray and a Jack Canfield would attract a more balanced audience, but very much inclined towards females.
Yes, yes. I noticed that that Jack's audience are, I think, probably here in the United States, I would probably say like 60%. Which normally when I go to marketing conferences, it's usually 80% male and 20% female. So I think that shift happens in the, depending upon how much emotion is involved and going to be discussed.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, in terms of the events, as I said, you have sponsors, you have strategic partners. Strategic partners are, in this case of John Gray, let's say predominantly female-driven associations. So you have a group called Heels and Deals. So those are business women who meet, and it's called Heels and Deals. You have business women's groups. You have female network groups. So that we tie up with them and then work with them to reach out to their members to know about the event and incentivize them in some way or the other. The other way is obviously when, as I said earlier, when you bring in a celebrity speaker, you get the newspaper, you get radio, and you get TV coverage. And then our PR, we have an external PR company who've set up already 15 interviews have taken place with John Gray in advance, and that's going to appear in the monthly magazine newspapers in the coming 2-3 weeks, which will have a direct impact on the business. We've organized a webinar this Saturday. So for anyone wanting to watch, we have a webinar live with John Gray this Saturday. Heavy social media content being shared online about articles on communication skills, relationships. So, you know, there's several different, I would probably say there's about 20 strategies to ensure we fill that room.
And who's in charge of those strategies? Would that be your job, setting all those strategies up and the logistics of it?
Yes, I'd say between Dad and myself, we, in terms of those 20 strategies, overlooking those and implementing those, the responsibilities will be shared with the team, and some responsibilities are shared externally. For example, social media, we have a partner called Scion Social, so they would work with us as our consultants, and they would take care of implementing our social media plan. We have a PR company. So again, they would liaise with us, our needs, we'd coordinate everything, but they would run the whole PR side of the business. So we know that PR and social media are two examples that we outsource, but we outsource to partners because we don't work on transaction mentality. So our social media client are more like partners for the year. Our PR company are PR partners. So anything to do with anything that we're doing in the region, they take care of that.
So what you're telling me, it seems to me, from my perspective, is that you're really talking about building strong, powerful relationships. It sounds like that's what your business was built on. That's what's kept you going, and that's what you're focusing on in the future. Building those relationships, getting the people to be really behind your company. Is that right?
Yeah, you're actually hit the nail on the head. That's absolutely true. I mean, Dad and me believe in the philosophy, we must divide to multiply. And the only way that we're going to apply that is by collaboration, partnerships, synergies. And that is the only way. There's only so much I can do alone or Dad can do alone or the two of us can do. And by partnering with external partners and enriching more people's lives, that's how you can grow the business. So yes, Apsu built on trust, on relationships, partnerships, and collaborations for a win-win scenario.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So how many people actually work in your company?
Our company right selection, we're a team of 8 of us full time. And then external strategic partners, I'd probably say in the region of 12 external partners.
Wow. Wow, that's great. So tell me, what is the future for Right Selection?
That's a great question. I mean, the future is, as of now, we've built up a very exciting year ahead in our 20th year. We have John Gray coming in on Men Are From Mars, Dubai, Bahrain, Chennai. Then we're hosting Jack Canfield for numerous events in 5 cities, Dubai, Oman, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, and Chennai. And then we're hosting, later on, we're taking a delegation to London for Tony Robbins. We're hosting Ron Kaufman, who's the legend on customer service. In June, we're hosting the chairman of BNI in Dubai. And then it leads on to October, which is our big excitement as a company, how to make it a very special month for us. We're not looking as a day, we're looking at a special month. It's our 20th anniversary, officially October 2013. So our current focus is on the next 6 months of events, and then making our 20th anniversary like a new beginning. So that's all in conversation about what is our business plan for the next 1, 3 to 5 years. Where do we want to see ourselves evolving from where we are now? And we want that to make sure we make that a new beginning, our 20th year, a celebration as well as a new beginning about the future. So I don't have a specific answer to the distant future, but in the short-term future for this year, that's what we have in mind.
Well, I'm not meaning to hold your feet to the flames with that. I was just really curious because I know I watch you on social media. I'm always paying attention to what you're doing because it seems like, well, first of all, everything is so exciting. But the other thing is the way that you're driving your business is so well thought out. It's so focused. And the other thing is it really utilizes the best skills that people have to offer. Like I noticed that. So when I'm getting your information and I'm looking at this, I'm always trying to picture, now where is he going with this? What's the next step of it? So I'll be really curious to see what you do for the 20th year anniversary, which is phenomenal because most businesses never make it to that. You know, small businesses that start out even as a brick and mortar. But one of the questions I have for you is, how have you seen the Dubai change in the last 20 years?
Dubai is a phenomenal city, really. I mean, not only because I live here. I was born in London. I lived there for 20 years before moving here. By God's grace, I've had the pleasure and honor of traveling across the globe. But I really feel Dubai is one of the best cities in the world. I describe it as the grace of the East and the pace of the West. It's got the entire culture. It's the most multicultural society I've ever known. In our company itself, we may work with 5 different nationalities amongst a team of 8. You're surrounded by every culture under the sun, both in personality of nationalities, in terms of restaurants. You name restaurants from a couple of dollars a day, a meal, to $1,000 a meal. So you have that whole spectrum from every brand under the sun, food-wise, clothes-wise, from movies, concerts, nightclubs, singers, you name every form of entertainment. You have live entertainment from every nationality covered, all in the city of Dubai. So it's evolved tremendously and it continues to grow. It continues to create a lot of attraction of visitors. It's positioned phenomenally in the world. You know, it's 14 hours from Australia, 14 hours from the States. It's right bang smack in the middle of the world. It's a city led by a phenomenal leader here in Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed, and a great ruler of Abu Dhabi as well, Sheikh Khalifa. So it's got a great visionary in the leadership, and a lot of a gung-ho entrepreneurial society. It's filled with people who want to take action on their ideas and create magic and create excitement and create a buzz. So I think it's a phenomenal city that has evolved from just a small population 20 years ago to being a dynamic, exciting entrepreneurial city with tourism at an all-time high.
Well, I'll tell you, I cannot wait to come and visit you in Dubai. I'm sure that after people hear this, they're all going to be checking out how they can get there and where they would stay. I mean, I've done a lot of research on it. It just looks fabulous. So, Gautam, our time is up. I really want to thank you for being on the air with me today. This has been such a great experience for me. I really appreciate that you've taken this time away from your busy schedule. Really, I want to thank you.
My pleasure, Laurie, and I wish you continued success, happiness, and prosperity personally and professionally. And a big hug from me in Dubai.
Thanks so much, Gautam. It's been wonderful. Really, thank you. So we're signing off today at Focus Forward, and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in and visiting Dubai with me today.